Welcome to the newest installment of Who's in the Spotlight. I'm the man, the myth, the gift. What's in store with Timur? And today we are here with Damien Hunt.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He's going to be telling us about his story, maybe touching on some fun facts, and some things to know about it. And with that being said, let's dive right into it.
Okay.
What's going on today, Dame?
Man, I am good. Dame, D, life after, whatever you want to call me, man. I answered all of them.
Now, exactly what is the life after about?
Life after came about after I got divorced. I had to figure out what I was going to do after my divorce. And in talking to some pastors and some other friends, they were like, Damien, you have a story. There are a lot of men out there that are dealing with divorce but don't know how to deal with divorce. And there's no voice out there. So maybe this is what you were meant to do. So after I did some of it, I started out just talking to guys. And then from guys it went to women. I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting women to come and want to know what's on a guy's mind. I just thought guys would want to talk just so they have an outlet.
Right. I actually went through the same thing myself. And going through a divorce, it's like it's a very empty feeling.
Definitely.
You try to figure out what it is that you did wrong, where you could have did things right. You play this mind game with yourself to, it gets like, wow,
yeah, what
could I have done?
Right.
It's important for you to have a circle. It's important for you to have a support system, because if you was all in, and your routine is just so used to being with this person, once that goes, it's like, wow, where am I now?
Yeah, definitely.
So was that something that you had to deal with?
I dealt with it, definitely dealt with it that way, because we were together for 20 years.
Oh, man.
But in those 20 years that I do everything I was supposed to do as a man. That's what it boiled down to. So I went through a 2-year hiatus of everybody. I stopped talking to family. I stopped talking to friends. As far as, when I say friends, I mean intermediate people. People who knew me or knew who they wanted me to be.
Right.
But I didn't know myself. So I can't tell you about me if I don't know me.
Right.
So for 2 years I went through this whole process. And then in the process of doing this, people were telling me, well, Damien, you need to write a book. I'm like, what the heck I need to write a book for? They was like, well, in order for us to fully understand your story, you have to put your story out. You have to tell people from the time that you thought the mess up happened till now. So that's what I did. I went back 10 years. And pretty much talked about what I did in those 10 years and what happened to me to put me in that state of mind for 10 years. Because I was in a mental funk after losing my job in radio. After I lost my job in radio, that's how in society men are judged by their job.
Pretty much.
So if you're not working the job that you say you're going to have, you're nothing.
Not only society, but also you can take it from the military ranks.
Yes.
If they look at your collar and they don't see that Master Sergeant, that E6, that E7, E9, E8, E9, you get no respect.
Right.
You get treated like the private or the piece of that they think you are.
Right.
So I definitely understand that. And then just piggybacking on what you said as far as when you was married, you had to find yourself. I was so endorsed in my marriage, I actually lost myself, and I had to find myself, because I was all in. And you get lost by being, everything becomes a routine.
Yes.
When I got off work, my routine was trying to hurry up, get to my wife, figure out what we were going to do for the day, or I get off work, I'm going to the gym. As soon as I leave the gym, trying to give a wife to see what we're eating, kids are okay, this, that, and the third. So when you no longer have that in your life, you become lost.
Yes.
And it's crazy because you know everywhere to go.
Yep.
You know every street, you know every sign, but it's like, what am I doing?
Right.
Because you become so routine. And I went through that process myself, man, and it was tough, but I had a great support system, friends, family, and with the man above, I got through. But it was a rough process.
It's going to be a rough process. Only because we know who we are and we know who we want to be. And in the process of doing that, you are losing yourself at the same time, because you don't want to be what others say you are.
Right.
You want to be the man that you know you are. Exactly. And once you are no longer the husband, because that's your title.
Yeah.
Your title is husband. Mm-hmm. Then you go back to Damien. Who is Damien?
Right.
Damien had to find Damien.
That's a great point.
So if I don't know who I am, God already knows who I am. Mm-hmm. God, I think I got divorced because I was too busy being self-destructive. Mm. And being self-destructive, I say I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do as a husband. I wasn't the communicator. I wasn't the disciplinarian the way I should have been. I was disciplining my kids, but I was disciplining them more out of anger for self than what they really did. Because they're kids. They don't know.
Here's one key thing I want to touch on, not to cut you off.
No, you good.
What women don't understand, and I really feel like we need a forum for this. As a man, you're taught from when you come out the womb to protect, provide. And if you no longer have those things, or one of those things is taken, or both of those things are taken away from you, you kind of out here like, what's going on? Yeah. Because, Damien's not a great communicator. Why don't you talk to me? Because you weren't raised as a chatty patty.
No.
If you a man that's gossiping all the time or running his mouth, then in my eyes and in most men's eyes, you're not a man.
Right.
So the ability to communicate is sometimes tough because we wasn't raised that way. We was raised to protect, provide. Don't be a chatty patty. Don't run your mouth. So when you meet somebody and you meet a woman you want to get to know, and she don't understand why you don't really open up emotionally, or you don't open up in this matter, it's because we were really raised a certain way and it was embedded in us.
Yeah, I mean, my pastor talked about that the other day. Men are only taught to be providers.
That's it.
And that's the way society has rolled. But now the roles have changed. Women can go out and get a job better than a man.
Absolutely.
And provide for the family the way the man once did. And the reason why I say that is because there's no longer those industry jobs. Mm-hmm. Everything is technical bound now. And a lot of men, I hate to say it, we don't know how to work a freaking computer.
Yeah.
Me, because if I got this phone, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm either giving it to my wife or I gave it to my kids.
And they know.
They know. Because it's what they were programmed to do. I mean, kids know technology.
You also said provide, but we were also taught to protect.
Yes.
My father, which is no longer with us, man, I remember him telling me at 3, 4, 5 years old, he said, "Pop, you got to protect your mom. Even if that means that you got to strap up arms." Yep. And this is me, he telling me this at a young age. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I ain't really understand it at the time, but as time went on, I'm like, it's all out. Ain't nobody gonna do nothing to my family or at all, but I'm going all out. So as a man, young man, you're taught to protect, provide, and the whole nine, man. So I definitely understand what you're saying, the point that you're trying to get across. And it's stories like this, stories like ours, that actually need to be put out here, a lot more, because nobody really understands or really puts out this message as far as how do you handle divorce or as a man. Yeah. What is after divorce?
What are the rules?
Yeah, exactly.
What are the rules? Nobody knows the rules because there are no rules.
Yeah.
And that's the bad part about the system. We don't. The rules were not meant for divorce. The rules were meant to be married because nobody was living long enough to stay married for 20, 30 years. Mm-hmm. The men were dying in war because the system wasn't set up for men to live long term. Women, they knew women were going to be around forever. Yeah. But they wasn't set up for men to be around long term.
So real quick, when we were talking, and I asked you this is off.
Yeah.
Do you really feel like you can be all in a relationship or in a marriage? And I say that to say it's in people's nature to take advantage of kindness. Oh. Just say we in the house and I know Sherry, she washes the dishes. Well, I'm gonna just leave the dishes in there because I know she gonna get it.
Yeah.
Well, I ain't gonna pick that up because I know she gonna get it. or whomever gonna get it. I think it's in a person's nature to just take advantage of people's kindness. And when I say that is, I feel like when people feel like you're all in, I feel like maybe it's just me. They take advantage.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say they're taking advantage. I would look at it more as, how can I say it? We don't take advantage, but we look at it more as roles. Because if she is always doing it, you're going to expect her to do it. Just like if I'm always cutting the grass, she's going to expect me to cut the grass. If I'm always taking out the trash, she's going to expect me to take out the trash.
How about this? And I'm glad you said that, because just say if that trash is overflowing for one day, and you just been so busy that you can't get to it just that day. In a person's character, I would expect that person to just take out if the trash is overflowing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But since it's your role, since it's your job, I'm gonna just let it overflow because he's gonna take out the garbage.
Well, that's when the communication needs to start.
And that's extreme selfishness.
Yeah, that's extreme selfishness. At that point, the communication just needs to start.
Man, with that being said, man, we gotta wrap up real quickly, man. Shoot out any of your social media, any upcoming events that you got going on.
I am on a tour that's going to be happening here soon. They're getting the date set up. I have a new book that's out. It's called Finding Self. You can find that on Amazon.com. You can find me on Life After with Damien on Facebook, Life After with Damien on Instagram, Damien Hunt on Facebook. You can just, I'm everywhere. I'm trying to get a Tinder page. Not really, I'm just joking. but you can find me. You can find me anywhere that you need to find me. Once you find me on there on Facebook, it has the contact information.
Okay.
So you can definitely contact me on there any kind of way.
I'm your boy T Moore. This is your guy Damien Hunt, and he's from where Peyton Manning was legended.
Yes, definitely.
Check us out on Who's in the Spotlight. You better do that. Peace.